Hey, I wanted to make a quick video, just a follow-up video from the one that I did yesterday on the subject of near-death experiences. I just wanted to clarify myself because I do not want the video I made yesterday to be a welcome mat for all these people who think that, oh look, the atheist is wavering in her you know, that she's not quite sure, so let's attack her. Let's pull out the heavy guns and throw all the religion we can at her and all the bullshit. You know, I would appreciate not having that happen. I don't think near-death experiences are real. I think 99% of them are bullshit. Made up stories or hallucinations of a brain that's suffering from asphyxia, you know, lack of oxygen. I don't really believe in the afterlife. I have 35 years of being a Christian and having magical thinking. It's like baggage. When you're married a long time and then you have a bad whatever, divorce, whatever, you have baggage for a while. You don't just let it go, you know. Or kind of like the patterns of thought that I had to struggle with when I was really depressed. Learning to recognize those patterns of thought and put a stop to them when I identify them in my head. Kind of the same thing. It's like, I don't see anything wrong with contemplation and thinking, you know, I don't. And I don't see anything wrong with having something other than black and white thinking, you know. Oh, there's no God. It's like, I'm an agnostic atheist. I really am. I don't know. Nobody knows. And it angers me when I get these Christians on YouTube or Facebook who are so arrogant. I mean, they don't care how much they walk on the other person or put the other person down. You know, they are not even remotely willing to entertain the idea that they could be wrong, that they really don't know. They know. They just know. And you're just, I'm sorry, but, you know, I mean, just the attitude that they convey is like, you're just so busy struggling to convince yourself that there isn't a God. This guy wrote me this. It's like, what universe are you in? First of all, you're assuming what's going on in the mind of another human being. I'm sorry, but you cannot tell me what I'm thinking or what I believe. You have no grasp of what I think or what I believe. You know, these same Christians will say, well, God this, and God thinks this, and God thinks that, and God feels this way. It's like, you really know the mind of your deity? You presume to know the mind of God, the creator of the universe? I mean, the kind of arrogance that it takes to tell somebody what they think, what they're thinking, what they feel, what they're struggling with inside, you know, is right up there with the same kind of arrogance that thinks it knows what God wants or what God approves of. So anyway, I forgot what I was going to do with this. It's like I was trying to make a point and it just went completely south. So you don't know what's going on in my head. And I don't have black and white thinking. That's what it was. I don't have black and white thinking. I try very hard to not have black and white thinking. If I had black and white thinking, I would say there's no God. And I know there's no God. I absolutely 100% know there's no God. Except I don't have black and white thinking. I try to be in the shades of gray. I don't know if there's a God, but there's nothing to show that one exists, so I don't think there's a God. I don't believe in him. You can show me there's evidence for God and I might change my mind, but I see no evidence for God. You don't show me any evidence for God, so I don't believe in God. But I don't know if there's a God, you know, because there's nothing to show me either way. You know, there's no way to prove that something that doesn't exist doesn't exist. And Christians don't even try to prove that he does exist. They don't even make an attempt to find evidence. So yeah, I'm in the agnostic atheist category. I don't know, but I don't think so. And that's kind of how I feel about afterlife. I don't really know. There's no evidence for it. I don't think it exists. And somebody might say, well, the near-death experiences are evidence because there's so many people that it's like, you know what, that's hearsay. It's hearsay, just like the Mormon God helped me through a bad time. That's hearsay. That's your interpretation of what happened to you, and you don't know that that was God that helped you. You're interpreting God. Interpreting, thank you. You're interpreting God into the picture of what happened to you. That's your interpretation. It's not based on any facts. It's not based on any evidence. It's just your take on something that happened to you. That's hearsay. That's not evidence. There is no evidence for God. There is no evidence for heaven or an afterlife. My dad has never come back to me and said, hey, Diane, you know. Nobody has, as far as I know. Nobody has come back and said, hey, this is the right religion. You need to follow this religion. You need to do this and this and this. Nobody has come back in any kind of way that's been proven. So, yeah, I don't believe in these things because they're not proven. That's my stand. That's my position on them. Somebody said they just saw my huge 28-minute long video that I said at the start was going to be a short little video. And she said if it was me, it would have been a 55-second video because she's very convinced that there's no afterlife. And she wouldn't even probably spend all the time that I did talking about such things as ghost sightings and, you know, whatever. You know, but I do because these are things that I've thought about. I have magical thinking still because of the time that I was a Christian. It was a big chunk of time. I've been here 51 years. I was a Christian when I was 12. I was a Christian from 12 to age 45 or whatever. That's a big chunk of time. And I was that way for that long because of magical thinking. I had magical thinking. You know, there's going to be residuals to that. There's always going to be a little bit of that fanciful thought processes, whatever, going on in my brain. But I would appreciate not having Christians try to exploit that. I'm not going back. I'm not going to shut my brain down and go back into the, ooh, it's so mysterious. The world is just so big that we little humans can never understand it. God did it all, and who are we to question God? I'm never going to go back there. I am never going to go back there. There is knowledge to be found, and that's what science is all about. And it will continue to quest, and it will continue to throw away the old theories when they find something that is more plausible. That's what science does. It doesn't cling to a favorite toy with all its might. When it's outgrown that toy, it throws the toy away, and it goes and gets the big adult toys. That's what science does. Christianity is clinging to its little security blanket, its little teddy bear, and it will never let go. This is what we like. This is our explanation for everything. We don't care if science proves it's completely wrong. We think it's right because we really like it. This is what we want. This is what feels good to us. This is what feels good to them. No, you know, toys. Growing up as a species on this planet. Growing up. You know, the time of superstition brings back thoughts to me of, you know, people huddled in caves and afraid of the dark and afraid of lightning and afraid of fire and all these things because they're all the wrath of this god or that god or whatever. You know what? I think it's nice to think that humans have evolved a little bit more than that. Speaking of evolution, I had to put this out there. I saw a thing on Facebook yesterday that they're saying by 2024 they think China is going to be even more of a Christian infested nation than America is right now. That just sickens me. You know, because I always think of China as, well, China and a lot of other countries as being filled with people who are so much more educated than Americans. You know, their school, their education is way more rigorous, you know, than what we have here. People from other countries come here and try to fit in with our schools, try to join our schools, and they're like, God, you're way behind, you know. So I'm pretty sure that a large chunk of the Chinese population is more educated, and they're becoming Christians. That makes me, it's like, really? Is there something to do with being a superpower that dumbs down a society? That's just sad. You know, maybe it's better to not be a superpower and have intelligent children. Anyway, so this is supposed to be a short video, and I'm going to make it one. I'm just putting your requests out there to please respect the journey that I've been on. Please respect that a lot of the shit that I was talking about in my video yesterday reflects the magical thinking that I've been carrying with me my whole life. It doesn't necessarily represent where I am now and what I think now. I really don't believe that there's an afterlife. I really don't. I don't believe that there's a God. The only reason the door isn't closed is because I'm not an arrogant, you know, I'm not arrogant enough to say I know everything. I don't know everything. There is a question in my head because I don't know everything. I'm agnostic. I don't believe it until you show me evidence. You don't show me evidence for afterlife, for God, for, you know, anything that isn't just hearsay. So I don't believe in it. You got to show me something that's evidence and not just a fuzzy story about what happened to you or hearsay stories about near-death experiences. That's just hearsay. Show me real evidence. Show me real, repeatable, verifiable, testable evidence for any of these things, and I might actually believe them. But nobody bothers to try to find evidence for these things. So I will continue to not believe in them. That's it. I don't believe in them. I don't say they don't exist. Flat out say that because I try to be humble. I try to keep my perspective about the fact that I have limited knowledge. I don't know. But I don't see anything anywhere to show me that these things are real or that they exist or anything. So I don't believe in them. So that's just me trying to clarify the video I did yesterday. And please, again, Christians, please don't exploit the fact that I reveal some of the thought processes that I have in my head still. It's baggage from a time when I really did have serious magical thinking. I don't anymore. But the baggage is still there, and it probably will be for the rest of my life. But I reject the baggage. Until I see real evidence. You know, it's a nice happy thought to think that my cats are somewhere or my dad is somewhere. It's a nice happy thought. But I don't really believe it. You know, not until I see something to show me it's true, it's real. And there isn't anything there. There's nothing to show me that. So anyway, I gotta walk my dog now and get ready for work. If you've been watching, thanks. Bye.